Technically, I got a letter. It's not in the right place. I don't know why I guessed that, but that was terrible.
I shouldn't have. Oh, Skylar.
Oh, what a word.
Oh my god.
What do you have?
I honestly, I don't know where this can go. I don't know what this word is. I'm a fucking idiot. I started with words.
Oh, that's a good one.
I went into roomy because I was feeling bold.
Kind of bit off.
Yeah. And then from there, I had the R and the O in the right place. So I went to rogue, like Rogue, and I was like, whoa. So what I did was I did something crazy smart, and I just switched the U and the G, kept the E at the end. I did rogue, but different, and it counted. So then from there, I just randomly put in letters until I had the final one in the right, and it happened to be the H.
Mine is so brain dead. I had a brain dead moment from my double yellow to one single. So I started with stare, but like with the E at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm getting a lot of common letters here. And I only got R. And then I was like, okay, let me do bring. And I got R and G. And I was like, and neither of them in the right place. So I'm like, And I was like, you know what? Brilliant idea. It's probably ginge. It didn't have an R, but I got the G in the right place. Yeah, I
Why?
the same letters that I knew weren't in it. 3, actually. I used INE.
Your big brain actions right there.
And then I went to plugs, and I got the UG. And I was like, oh.
Where's the R?
Rough. Didn't need it. Knew where it was.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of a word.
Whatever. Skylar didn't want the R. I didn't want to do the light setup because we didn't have a member today. So then I just was like, if Mediak's only putting in 2/3 of the effort, then I'm only going to put in 2/3 of the effort. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mediak. And this week it's a little bit different. We are lacking a member. We don't know why. He's gone. I honestly don't tell Chandler this, but I think it'll turn out for the better. Me and Skylar had a ploy planned, and you guys are going to be on it. He's not going to listen to this. He used to listen to all of our episodes, but he's not going to listen to this one. I guarantee it. He's not going to have time to. But we're going to pretend that we reviewed it really poorly this week in this episode whenever we talk to him next week, whenever we go through Civil War. So next week, expect that. We'll be like, oh, yeah, we just didn't like it this time. Sorry. We were going to come into this episode. We found out about an hour ago that he wasn't going to be on the cast. Just from a hunch. It was because he wasn't answering texts. We were like, all right, we're just gonna prepare for the fact that he's not going to be here. So me and Skylar were really sad because we had that fully prepared that we were going to come into this be like, all right, well that movie sucked. I hated it. Had a bad time. Yeah, but
yeah. I even wrote my notes in a way that I could spin them as negatives.
I tried my best, but I actually was just having so much fun at certain points that I was like, I don't even know how, if Chandler brings this up, that I could like twist this into a way that would be pretty negative. But yeah, just like any other podcast, stay tuned to after the review if you want to hear some media-related news and then other stuff that we have been watching since we last recorded. This time is going to be a little bit more so because it's been such a big distance since we last recorded, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about after the movie. But yeah, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. We had specific parameters when reviewing this movie specifically because we're watching the Captain America the Captain America quadrilogy as if it was... Yes, exactly. We're watching it as if it was designed to be a quadrilogy. So how well does this movie work as a sequel? How well does Civil War work as a threequel? How well does Captain America Bird work as a quadwood? I don't know.
The fourth.
Yeah, the fourth movie. How well does it work as the fourth movie? But yeah, that's how we're going to be reviewing it this time. Apart from the Avengers, we never watched that movie at all. From right now, it went from the end of the first scene into him doing S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff.
Yeah, they talked about some Stark. I assume Howard, but he's really old.
Who is that guy?
So strange.
Okay. Watching this movie as if the other movies never existed was amazing. I genuinely
I actually agree.
thought it was fantastic as a follow-up to the previous movie. I thought it worked better as a follow-up to the previous movie than if we were watching them in like chronological order of all of the MCU movies coming out, because like it just is such a natural end point of the first one. Exactly. He's just picking it back up. He's jumping right back into the army, exactly what he would do if he just woke up at this time period. And it's such a great flow, and in the natural like he like mentioned Stark, and that's a callback to the previous movie, because like obviously there would be another Stark. He's a playboy, so there would be like a son that would like take over, so you don't need to know that there's an Iron Man, even though they do mention Iron Man, which I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Civil War, but I feel like that's a kind of a natural setup into Civil War. I'm really interested. Like, before watching The Winter Soldier, I thought it's going to work until the third one. I think Civil War is going to fuck it up and make it not work as a trilogy. However, I don't know. I think it might be such a natural progression to have shown, like, a slight buildup of Iron Man over these two movies, and I know that sounds stupid, but I think it'll work. I guess we'll see, and even the post-credit scenes kind of will help towards that a tiny bit, because it showed Wanda.
Yeah. I also think that this one kind of sets up for the third by kind of already showing there's a split. There's a split happening. And this movie was like the start of the split. Obviously, spoilers for the movie that we're going to be reviewing. But
this movie or next movie?
This movie.
Okay.
That's
a dumb question.
Hydra, yeah. They had Hydra infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D., basically, and they kind of took over S.H.I.E.L.D. from the inside. So it was already built into the kind of Captain America, Nick Fury, that they can't really trust the other side yet. So I think that might kind of lead toward progression in Civil War, finding out who you can trust, who you can't, what one side believes, what one side the other side believes.
And also Black Widow mentioned something about him being on a team with them. She said something. It was a one-off line. I didn't write it down. I forgot to. There's other stuff I wrote down, but that's not one of them. Hate to see it.
But I also didn't think it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna work as like a trilogy at all.
I didn't
think this one was gonna be really that good without having like all the other like world building aspects like around it, because I feel like that's pretty important. And definitely, you would think it is.
I thought it was definitely going to work as an action movie, because I remember some of the scenes being just like badass, and it
badass. They do have really good action. Like that's one of the things I wrote down. Like it's all very clean.
Oh my god!
And all looks really good. But honestly, I think I agree with you. It just works better as
I was shocked. It actually was like genuinely. Not like it was an interesting way to go at
Bucky.
Yeah,
you just saw Bucky fall.
Exactly.
Now he's back, and Hydra, who you just saw disappear, is right back. It's a very good sequel. It's a very good sequel.
Can you do something?
I didn't think it would be.
Well, I think the reason why is because it's the same writers as the first movie. The same people who wrote the first movie wrote this movie, which was shocking to me, because I knew that the Russo brothers directed this movie, so I assumed that they were the ones that wrote it, but they aren't. Can you do me a favor, and can you look up the writers of Captain America Civil War? Because I think it's the Russo brothers, and if so, then that makes me a tiny bit worried for how that will work in our little experiment here. But yeah, you said something like, going into this, I expected it not to work at all, and I couldn't agree more. That was the reason why I wanted to do this experiment every year, because I thought it was going to be an embarrassment thing, just to make fun of these movies, and how if you really like these characters, it just wouldn't work properly. But our first time off, it's actually being quite solid, and I'm really shocked about that. And what he was saying about Bucky is definitely true. Sorry, I'm getting off track here. I need a little help. I don't know how to transition this into one of my other
good. So far, I'm only seeing that they had directed it, and the screenplay is by Christopher Marcus.
Christopher Marcus. Oh, those are the guys who wrote this one and the last one.
Okay, so it might actually be.
This might be.
It is directed by the Russo brothers, though. It says it is directed by them, but they wrote the screenplay.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty badass.
That is interesting.
Sorry, I'm taking a second here to Google Captain America: Brave New World.
No, you're fine.
There's no way that it's written by the same people.
There's no way. But I mean, I think even if you kind of don't think of it, because I kind of like looked at it as if it is a sequel and as if it's like its own type of
I
thing.
think it
Like,
works if you watched it on its own. Like,
I think it does too. I think it's just overall just a really good movie.
Yeah.
And it plays really well into the world if you're watching all of Marvel in chronological order. I think it plays well as its sequel, and it plays well as its own movie, which is insane.
It's just a fantastically written piece of art. Excuse me.
It really
sorry
is.
about that.
I also think they had really good music in this movie.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it was placed in such a really well like thought way. Like the song, like Captain America's like song, the slow dance song that plays in his apartment, and whenever he dances with Peggy at the end of Endgame, that moment, whenever he's walking into his apartment with Nick Fury, is so like tense because of that song and how well it's placed, and it's just so smart because it's such a happy song. Just in that moment, it makes it feel so good. I have two complaints with this movie, and I know that sounds really like a lot for Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I had that.
That's fair. Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. While I was watching this movie, I was like, holy shit, dude, this is going to be really hard to do the thing with Chandler.
Yeah,
that's why
I was like,
yeah, especially with reviewing it as a sequel, I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done this bit whenever I had like a pre-established like plan and goal here. It probably wasn't a good idea. I was already doing something differentiated, but now... But whatever. It ended up working out. Now we could mess with him next week. And we're going to force him to do a quick review of this movie at the beginning of next week. So obviously be anticipating that. What were you saying, Sky?
I want to hear your complaints. I want to see if I agree.
My what?
I'm interested.
Oh,
I don't know what...
Okay.
Yeah, what did you find?
Okay. I thought that the cinematography was a pretty big step down than the first movie, because I thought that it was like art pieces in the first movie. Well, this one, like, sometimes the camera just kind of felt like it was capturing what we needed to see to get going. And
That's true.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. It just was, it could have been better. And one of like the scenes I'm thinking of is the scene on the boat. Like, I feel like that could have been shot so much more like stealthy, or not like video gamey, but kind of like that. I'm thinking of like Solid Snake. That could have been such a really interesting moment for that, even though they did have some fun moments with him throwing the shield. I don't know.
Another one could have been like them falling into the water and Bucky saving him.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only shot that I was like, okay, that's actually like kind of good of him, like actually in the debris falling down.
I was thinking the same thing.
Really? You didn't like that shot? I actually really like that shot.
I just think that's one of the ones that could have been shot like a little cooler, because like whenever he hit the water, the only thing we saw is him just fading. Which, I mean,
yeah, no, I agree with that. I meant the singular like cut of him like slow-mo falling in the middle of the debris.
Oh, that looked,
I was like, good. I kind of like that one.
In the water.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Because like it's also so dark that it's like kind of hard to see things. In that scene where he's like falling into the water at the beginning of the movie, like I understand that it's supposed to be nighttime, but like we're supposed to be seeing a cool moment here. Did he get a parachute? No. Ooh. I can't see what's on the screen. Like, it doesn't matter if he has a parachute or not. I don't understand what's going on.
That whole like action sequence is really cool, and I think it was all one take too, wasn't it?
Which one?
I don't. The whenever he first the elevator was really cool. Whenever he first is on the boat at the beginning of the movie, and he's like beating up the three guys. I think it might have. I can't remember if
there was a couple ones in one take, but I know he didn't do that entire boat sequence in one take. I know there were a couple shots in it.
Like the three, like whenever he threw like the out the
with the shield. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know he always has the shield, but you know what I mean, like where he like bounced it off the ground and hit against the wall.
Yeah, and then like tosses it off the wall and somebody comes right back.
Yeah, saying that is also a bad description, because that's what he does. It's Captain America. He throws it off the floor and the wall.
Got it.
Yep, he's got it. He's locked in. Homie knows what he's talking about there. But yeah, that was one of my complaints. I thought that it was kind of lacking in that department. But I thought it was basically like on par with everything else in the first movie. The other complaint is the title the title of the movie in general, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The reason why is because
what? It's a little misleading because he's not the Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah, no, obviously, no shit, but like, but what I meant was that was not where I was going with that, and that's a funny way to interpret it, but that's completely fine. But what I meant was, if you just watch the first movie and you're like, oh, I'm interested in the next Captain America movie, and you Google Captain America: The Winter Soldier, like, the majority of the things that come up are going to be spoilers for this actually kind of really well-made reveal in this movie. And I think that's kind of lame. And also, they didn't have the balls to put Black Widow in the title. She's literally the other main character in this movie. I think the movie should have been called Captain America and Black Widow. That's what I think the title of the movie should have been.
Maybe like Captain America, like Secret Invasion or something.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, that was pretty, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something with invasion, because
don't
that's kind
say
of what
that.
happened.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but like, I do think that Black Widow should. I think like that's what they would do in the comics. You know, if two heroes are teaming up to go and do something, it's usually just the two of their names and then an and in between. That's what they did for Deadpool and Wolverine. I just was like, it worked. You know, they just didn't have the balls to do it back then. They didn't think they could.
Yeah. Well, that's because of Black Widow is not too popular, I imagine, in
That's
comparison to
I don't know how
Captain
her movie
America.
performed. It kind of was a weird time for it to come out too, because it came out in 2020. So that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Black Widow. I thought that some of the banter was really enjoyable, but occasionally it went into the point in which I was like, okay, I see where Marvel is starting to form here. I don't think I like it. Like the moment where the guy got the hostage, the terrorist with the hostages got shot or something, and then the SHIELD agent looked at him and he said, "SHIELD doesn't negotiate." I was like, okay, that was dumb. Come on, that was a stupid line. Someone on the team had to have thought that was a dumb line. Cut that one, please. And then where is it? There's another dumb one that I thought. Oh yeah, I thought the hey Cap, how do we tell the good guys from the bad guys? If they're shooting at you, they're bad. It's like, yeah, I got it. That's a funny one, guys. I really enjoyed that one. That one should have stayed in there. The thing that I thought was really funny. I know. Okay, all right. This goes against my rule. I said that we were looking at it as a sequel. All right, Mediak. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing this, but I had to bring it up. I feel like anyone who reviews this movie past the year 2018 has to say the thing that I'm going to say.
On your left.
I guess that's not what I was going to go with, but yes, that's a reference. I got that one. Nice. Yeah. Chandler would have lost it on that. You would have thought that was really funny, Skylar. Just saying.
I know, in spirit.
Yeah, in spirit. If you rest in peace, my guy.
Maybe.
Fuck. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Okay. So there's a line in this movie that was cool, but post 2018, the year, it is ridiculous. So Nick Fury at the beginning of this movie goes, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Skylar, do you know how he lost his eye?
I can't remember. I'm going to be honest.
A cat scratched him. We find that out in Captain Marvel. What? Yeah. So I know that goes. Hey, I already apologized. We understand. We know what we're talking about here. I'm just bringing this up for the sake of the movie.
I think he did not trust any. He didn't lose it because of trust.
In the sequel, these four movies by themselves, it's fine. It's a cool line. It makes sense. Okay, we don't have to think about Captain Marvel. In this experiment, Captain Marvel doesn't exist. Neither does the Avengers or any of that. So we don't have to worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Skylar. Okay?
I'm so worried.
What?
kind of worried. How
It's just stupid. Everyone thought it was stupid.
ruined them that
No
much.
one, no one liked that. Like, regardless of your opinions on the movie, last time I watched it was the last time we went through all the Marvel movies for the podcast, which was back when the podcast first started. I actually didn't mind Captain Marvel because I thought that the animations were pretty good. It kind of just looked like Super Saiyans, and that's kind of how I did it in my brain. I was like, this is just what it is now, so I'm okay with it. But that's dumb. That's a dumb thing. I hate that. Yeah, the fact that they did that really ruined this line in the movie, and that makes me upset. Okay, what is this?
What did you think of the fight choreography in this movie compared to the first?
I thought it was done so well. I just wish that they held the camera still for a moment and let me, like, that knife flip scene. The thing that I remember so much about it is the behind the scenes of it, seeing them actually do it, and I'm like, holy shit. Just show me that. Like, you could have just had a camera on his left arm, like on the side over here, just seeing him do the flip and everything, and that would have been badass instead of having someone go like, ooh, all right, cut to this side, not this side, not this side. And like, I really enjoyed all of the different fights, and the set pieces were incredible. Like that fight, the middle fight on the bridge, like that led up to the knife scene, and then the minigun firing through the bus, like that was badass. That was awesome. I feel like we don't see that in Marvel nowadays, and I know that this series so far has just been us saying, yeah, Marvel back in its good old days. But like, yeah, I don't know, like it felt like practical, real. It just felt different. It felt so much better than what I'm used to. It felt like an action movie. I know that sounds
really did,
stupid.
especially with the Nick Fury chase scene.
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
was so well done.
That one was that one's awesome. That fantastic all the way.
One of the better chase scenes I've seen in a long while, and I've watched just great action movies.
Yeah, and the reveal of the Winter Soldier at the end of that is so fucking cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Whenever the mask gets knocked off, yeah, it's so cool. I mean, like,
I meant the Nick Fury one. Whenever he like stepped out for the first time and blew up Nick Fury's car. Also, another complaint: why didn't the Winter Soldier chase after him? Why didn't he hop into that hole? Why didn't he go after him?
He didn't want to.
He was tired.
I don't know.
No, oh my god, I'm an idiot. He just followed him. He did jump into the hole. That's how he found him at Captain America's house. He was waiting for Cap. There it is. Came to the conclusion.
Sometimes stuff clicks a little bit after.
Yep, I hate it though.
Wasn't his mission also to just kill Captain America?
What's up?
Didn't Bucky say his whole mission was just to kill Captain America?
Bucky? Yeah, well, for the most part, yeah. He was like, "You're my mission," or whatever.
Yeah.
Something at the end. I'm sorry. I was checking off my notes. Holy crap, dude. We just naturally like talked about so much of what I said already.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. One of the complaints that I did have that I see now on mine is there were so many opportunities to give Captain America like a gun again, and he didn't take any of them, and that kind of upset me because seeing him with the gun again in the first one was kind of really funny.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted him to have a gun, and it would make sense because he does have a shield. Yeah, it's not like he's running out with a gun and a sword. Yeah. Like, it would make sense for him to have some type of weapon.
What was the movie? This had to have been the movie that started he throws the shield instead of this. Definitely. Was this before Age of Ultron? Yeah, because like in the first one, you're right. Yeah, he threw the shield a little bit, but he mainly used his gun, like to shoot at them. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
This one definitely came before because I'm pretty sure one of the like end credits is Captain America next in.
You're right. Avengers. Oh my god, the end credits of this movie is for Age of Ultron. It literally has Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver that are like the people in Age of Ultron. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dude, fuck. I think
Did you also get the vibe that this was just like a spy? Like it was like an action movie, and it was also like a spy movie, the entire time. Like with I really like the one scene.
That's why it should be called Captain America and Black Widow, the spy, because most of the movie was just Captain America trying to be Black Widow.
Yeah,
kinda for the most part. That's why the movie should be called Captain America and Black Widow.
Captain America becomes Black Widow.
Captain America. I wanted them to date. You know, as a kid, I was really upset after watching this movie, and then he didn't get together with her, and I just was like, wow. Why?
Yeah,
They,
they were
they
both cool in the movie.
yeah, they would have had really cool Young Avengers children.
So they would have been a really good duo
Yeah,
because
power
one literally
couple.
has,
Honestly,
and one literally has the gun, and one of them is the shield.
exactly. Oh, dude,
It works so well.
it's like Hiroshima and Fat Gum, you know, from
Yeah,
My Hero
yeah.
Academia.
I
Yeah.
got that you said Hiroshima now.
Oh, okay. You thought okay. No, I get it.
So
I
Zach,
should have said
what was your
I
favorite
should have
scene in
said
this
Red
movie?
Riot. That was my bad. Um yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think I have like it's kind of disappointing. I think that nothing was necessarily written worse, but I don't have any like dialogue moments in this movie that I thought were outstanding like it was in the last movie. I thought that some of Sam's talks at the beginning, like whenever they're just having a casual chat. Also, what he's writing in his notebook, that scene changes based on what region you're in. Like it changes what stuff
Really?
he wrote down to check out. Yeah, it changes what region you're in, which is pretty neat. That's just like a fun little detail, I guess, because like I guess in some places it wouldn't make as much sense to have certain pop culture references because they aren't like pop culturally relevant in your country. So you got to change it around a little bit. I like that opening bit. I don't know. I think I like that flashback. I know that sounds stupid, like of a scene that said like I liked a lot in the movie. Just where they were talking to each other. But probably my favorite scene in the movie is just that highway action sequence midway through. It's just really well done. From like the entire scene where Bucky jumps onto him and fucking rips out the steering wheel to whenever they jump off of it, and they just have that brawl and there's a minigun. It's fucking sick, and then they have that awesome hand to hand. It's badass. Excuse me. What about you, brother?
I think mine might have. I don't know because I have the same problem as you. There's like 8 that like instantly come to like my mind. Because like I really like the car chase scene. I really like the scene where Cap and Nick Fury are talking, but they're also like talking like from his phone, and this kind of like coded language. Because that one's like
That
that one's
scene
pretty
is
cool.
so good. That scene's so good
Because
where he walks
it's
into
like
the apartment.
automatic. Like he like right before he's like basically like trying to like get a girlfriend, like talking to
that's
the girl
probably my
across the
favorite
hall,
scene.
and then she goes, "Oh, you left music on." He's like,
Yeah, and the vibe changes. It's so
"Yeah, completely."
awesome.
You're like,
It's so great.
and
I
then
love that.
you see him, and he didn't open up the door
Yeah.
and just like have his shield. He snuck in through the window, like
Yeah.
looked around, and then he just saw Nick Fury, and then they started doing like basically that immediately, and like
And then
that
he
was
started dude. That scene where he's like running after him, so good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best scene. That's probably the best scene in the movie.
That one is really good. Like that's kind of
Well,
like one
that
that
2 period where they like snuck in and then they're running together, like all of that, it's just so good.
like the just like the change that it had because it wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
It was like oh like there's like somebody,
Yeah.
but then like Nick Fury comes in and he's like nobody, like nobody is like safe. Like that one's really good. I honestly like the plot twist with Black Widow at the end, like taking off like the cover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That one's really good.
I like that scene where he revealed, like, I lied. There is conversations that are good. The one that Skylar just said was good there, where they were like having a fake conversation and talking on the phone. And then the scene where they, where it went from last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye, into the elevator where he was just having a conversation about his grandfather. I enjoyed that one. That was good. That led into like Stark's design, and you know, reference. That's
the other elevator scene was also really good.
Yes, the other elevator scene is really good. I like.
And actually, is that like that has to be another better cinema?
Yes, that one was shot great. I was actually just gonna cinematographically shot. No, that's definitely bad. The way
that definitely hurt really bad.
Oh yeah,
that definitely hurt really bad. He landed basically belly flop in concrete.
Yeah, that probably sucked a little bit. But yeah, that was definitely shot better. I was just gonna say something related to that because I like the bits where they had the camera, like it was giving me like Whiplash vibes, where he was noticing things about what was going on that led him to believe that he was about to be attacked in the elevator, where he was like saw the guy sweating or saw someone with a weird object in his hands or like fiddling with something, and I was like, this is fun. And then he gave a pretty hard line before we get started. Does anyone want to get out? I really like that.
Yeah, does anybody want to leave before we get started? That one's pretty cool. I also like whenever like the elevator catches itself and he pries open the door to see if it's good. He sees them
he's
running.
like,
He
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
But
great.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the Nick Fury
Yeah.
Cap conversation is my favorite.
Yeah.
That one is just like from him like trying to like hit on the girl to that is just so good.
It's
like the instant mood change to like like, oh, he's in trouble now is like really bad. He's like, is the Winter Soldier like right there?
He is
that
right
the
there,
Winter
then he
Soldier?
shot him, and then he jumped through the window and
like,
he ran after him in a really sick moment.
It was like, was he in the apartment? Was that girl like against
going on?
them? And then
because
like
she came in right afterwards too.
Yeah, she came back.
What's here? Yeah. Like, should I trust her even though she's saying she's a part of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, I just thought she was some lady that was doing my laundry and wanted to maybe have sex.
Yeah, like I thought she was just
I'm very confused.
My favor.
Many emotions are going on right now.
Yeah, none of them were good.
You're right. In capsized, none of those would be good.
No, they're all terrible.
Yeah.
He also just has a couple good like running scenes where he's just like kind of like sprinting like full force. That looked pretty good. I mean, Falcon's flying scenes look pretty good in this.
He has guns. Where did the guns go in the Marvel universe?
I don't know. They would certainly be helpful for somebody who's a long range fighter.
Yeah, no kidding. But he is a bird now, so don't worry about it. He's bird and he's red and blue and white.
I'm trying to think. I feel like the Winter Soldier, like his bionic arm, I feel like didn't help him too much. I feel like he got
some bullets.
Yeah, I mean that is true. But like I feel like it got beat in strength.
Well, it wasn't
9 times out of 10.
It wasn't like they replaced his good arm with a metal one. He didn't have an arm, and they just gave him one. You know,
that is.
It's not like it's supposed to be like a buff to him. It's just like this is his arm now. You know.
Yeah, that is true. But like, still, you would think like a bionic arm, it would be like basically impossible to like the one like electric part makes sense because you short circuit it.
Yeah.
And like that seems like a natural one. But Cap just being able to be like and like hit the one side of it and just and just make it like let go.
Yeah.
Seems like okay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, let's be honest here. If it was a real arm, it probably would do the same.
If it was a real arm, that's probably broken.
That's probably coming off, bro.
Yeah, I mean, again, he is a super soldier, so it's not like it's like unbelievable. Like he is like incredibly strong to like 99% of the
buff, handsome, sexy man.
Oh, the acting in this movie.
He's also fucking yoked, dude. He is so much like I feel like he's bigger in this one than he was in the last one, man. Like that scene where he was in that bathroom in the mirror and it was like the tank top on the white tank top. Yeah. Yeah. He was big, dude. Big guy. Jealous. Wish it was me.
I know. I watched the movie with Lily, covered her eyes.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, this movie slaps though. It would have been really hard to be like, hey Chandler, I didn't like this.
I don't think I would have been able to. I'm going to be completely honest. I think this movie is a little bit too difficult because there aren't many things that you can poke holes at or kind of underplay because like. So you said last time we recorded that your hot take is that the first movie is better than the second.
I still stand by it.
I don't know if I can agree with it.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that
I was thinking about that at the end. I was like, I don't think so.
I think writing-wise, the same.
I don't even know. I like this one more.
I think
it feels.
That's fair. I can't say that. I can't
like,
disagree with your opinion.
It feels like this, like. So in the first one, it felt like it was just pretty much, I'm just going to say Russia first, or United States first Hydra. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
And it was like basically even playing ground
Yeah.
for a lot of it.
Well, they're
And
completely
then
different
Captain America
types
came
of
and they
movie
started-
altogether.
Yeah. But they definitely are. But in
Yeah.
this one, it felt like Hydra had like all of the power.
Yeah, and it
And
definitely
like they
did.
were
Yeah,
like about to.
and you
And
know
like,
what?
we were
I
like,
think
oh,
that's such an
like,
awesome place to take a sequel, because like at the end of the first one, you beat the bad guys. Start of the second one, the bad guys are just absolutely overwhelming the good guys, and it's just not even close. That's such an awesome.
like they have like they infiltrated the army so infiltrated.
Infiltrated.
They got in. They like were able to like camouflage into like Shield so like well that their numbers grew so much. And then another scene that I thought was pretty good was whenever the two Hydra members team up and they like went in for like a handshake or something, and they both said like "Hail Hydra" like as they're leaving, like right before Sam
where they
got
like
there.
whispered into each other's ears.
Yeah. Like that one was pretty cool because like to show like probably what they've been doing.
Yeah, this is just like some corporate goons. They're just that deep into it, you know. It's infiltrated into all of these different really public things that we have.
Honestly, I also think on my first watch, I didn't realize how important Falcon was to literally all of this.
Yeah,
he was so incredibly important.
Yeah,
like I don't think
like
they guys
could have done it
without him.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think they would have failed.
I think it makes like watching this as just these two movies so far. It makes sense that he would be the next Captain America, you know, because he seems.
That's also what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I was going to say, like, I'm going to apologize.
He's like, hey, everyone, I'm sorry. Officially, it makes sense now. I get it. But
yeah, I was saying I was supposed to think of this one as the first 1 and 2, but this one I think connects now well to the fourth.
We'll
which is
see
the
about
great
that.
new bird.
We'll
yeah, I
see
mean,
about
we'll see.
that. We'll see about that.
Because again, I haven't watched.
Because well, the thing is,
but I can see how he is now. Because he like kind of signed up like Captain America, like how our Captain America, how previous Captain America did.
Yeah. How our Captain.
I didn't mean that.
That was the best like Freudian slip you've ever had. That was so peak. Okay, it doesn't matter. The reason why I'm like so curious about it is that like even though the end of the third movie, was Cap in prison? Is Falcon in prison? No, Cap breaks Falcon out of prison at the end of the third one. So it's just it has to cover so much fucking ground from 3 to 4 to make it like still work as a Captain America movie that I don't think it's possible. I think it's just not going
to. Just because Endgame
did
too much. Endgame and Infinity War did too much.
Well, even so much as explaining why he's Captain America now, I just don't think it's possible, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I think that's mainly... I think it's just because like the first 3 are all like...
so tight.
And they're in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even say that. So can you... What is the distance in time that Winter Soldier released to Civil War? What do you think? Because whenever I was a kid, it felt like it was a lot of time from Winter Soldier to Civil War. It was 2 years in between. And it was 9 years in between Captain America 3 and Captain America 4. So just like, it's honestly like we're doing it a disservice to even put it inside of this ranking. However, we've committed, and that's what we're doing. Just because it is its own thing now, like it's its own series. But we'll cross that bridge whenever it has 2 other movies.
I mean, there's a longer gap between 3 and 4 than there is between 1 and 3.
Yeah, is that actually true? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the first one was 2014 or something.
No, 2014 was the Winter Soldier.
First one. Maybe it was 2011.
Captain America, the first. It might have been 2011. It's 2011. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the distance. Wow.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
It's nearly double. It is double.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's nearly double. 5 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane. But yeah, whatever. All right, I think. Oh no, one more thing I have to say about the movie. And our score. Yeah, I was gonna say before going into the quote. I mean not the quote. the number. Sorry, going into
We
fucking.
are bumbling words left and right this
No, dude.
episode.
Hey, that makes sense. I talk for work, and that's
Yeah,
something
man.
from work. That was a Freudian slip, literally. Like that was actually a Freudian slip. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, you get what I'm gonna say. So, on the gravestone for Nick Fury is a Pulp Fiction quote because in Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson played a character who said a quote in that movie, and that quote's really popular. So he put that on the gravestone of Nick Fury because Nick Fury is Samuel L. Jackson. All right, Skylar, you're gonna give your number first.
All right. Being that I didn't really have many negatives to this, I gave it a 9. I mean, there's not really much to say. I mean, it was just really good.
Do you remember
Like,
what
that's
I
just
gave
it.
the last one? Did I give it a 9.5 or a 9?
Let me see what I gave the last one because I gave
Well,
the
that's not
last
gonna
one.
help me.
I think you might have been 8.5.
No, I definitely was higher than
Maybe?
that. I definitely gave it a 9 or a 9.5. 100%.
Okay,
All right.
maybe
We'll go
a
8.
9.
No, that sounds wrong. 8.5. Have to go 8.5 for this. That's what this movie is. Locking it in 8.5. I think this movie is
Yeah.
fantastic. However, I think it lacks a little bit in the cinematography section, and also the end is not nearly as good as the last movie. And we're grading it as a quadrilogy, so I'm comparing it to the first movie, and I think that the end of the first movie is fucking fantastic. So, yeah,
Yeah, the first movie is really good.
it's really freaking good.
And this one has Nick Fury's eye. It brings
Yeah.
up
No, we can't. We can't do that. We can't. That's not. We can't. If we judge that in it, then that's on us. That's wrong. Yeah, we're gonna get into news now. I have a couple things that are kind of interesting.
Would you like me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. You hit it, Skylar.
All right, so there have been critics saying that the Fantastic Four movie is underwhelming and it lacks character development, and apparently it primarily deals with Reed Richards, and he's not really utilized well in the movie, and the Thing is barely, they say barely in it. I feel like they're
Probably
kind
right
of
because he's
saying,
a big CGI monster, and that's hard.
yeah, like he's
Get
actually
money.
like barely in it, whereas they're not really using Reed and his like powers and his mind in the right
Yeah.
way. That's kind of what I'm taking it as. They just blatantly said underwhelming, lacks character development, which after
To be expected.
after Thunderbolt's end credit scene kind of made me believe it. So
I have
I'm-
something amazing to say too. I'm gonna start off my news with that.
let me see if there's anything else. It
Well,
says
it also said that Galactus was amazing. I heard that people
yeah, and it says
really
it's
like
very
Galactus.
comic accurate.
Yeah.
So that's like another part. So
I'm very excited for that actually.
yeah, disappointing use of Reed's powers as well as the Thing reportedly in the movie.
We are not doing an official review of Fantastic Four, so stay tuned to our What We're Watching section whenever that movie comes out to see what we think about it, because we will be covering Superman. Because obviously.
Well, I just think Superman will be better than
Me
it.
too.
I thought there was more.
So, we can go into my news
you go.
then.
Go for it.
So, the new Avengers is being pulled from cinemas already. After less than a month, it was only in theaters for like 20 something days, which is insane. But that's due to them it having an insanely low box office compared to what Disney expected out of a Marvel movie. And honestly, what I expected out of it, because it was getting a lot of people were talking about it a lot. It got good reviews for the most part, and it honestly was a pretty decent movie. The box office was $357 million. The budget was $180 million, so it didn't quite make its money back if you double that. And it had a lot of marketing, especially since they had to remarket the name altogether. So like
They shouldn't have done that.
it was such a dumb idea because it was not worth it. They didn't have enough money to do that. Clearly, they
I
didn't
thought
have
this
enough.
movie sold well globally, though. I thought it was at
No.
like 350 million.
Yeah, 350 million is not nearly enough to do it
It's
for a
the
Marvel
fourth
movie.
highest this year.
Yeah, it's nearly not enough to do it. 180
But it's
million
like-
is the budget, and
What was it?
180 million was the budget. You have to double that for marketing, and marketing for this movie was like a lot because of the rebrand completely after a week of the movie being
So
in
it's like
theaters.
500 million.
Probably. It's probably around 500 million, something like that. But yeah, it's officially one of Marvel's biggest flops. This report says ever, but I'm guessing it's just going to
So
be
dumb because
this year.
it's been like my favorite newer Marvel movie.
Yeah, definitely one of them, without a doubt. Some media news. My Bleach Rebirth of Souls copy that came in the mail. The guy who opened the box clearly was a little too having too much fun with the box cutter, and he cut the back of my copy. It didn't hit the disc. It didn't hit the disc, but I also I didn't want to wait another like week to get a new copy of my game, so I just kind of kept it. So now I have I have a game that just has an X-Acto knife cut through it. So and that was an Amazon one, so that just kind of came through. That was funny. Next news. Sorry, that was just something I found.
The new season of Marvel Rivals dropped, which feels like big media news.
Wait, it's half
like
season.
Yeah, it's half season, which is basically a new season.
Yeah,
but
Ultron's out. It's pretty cool. Bunch of new buffs, bunch of new nerfs. I have a bunch of
I
news.
swear I had more movie news. I thought I was going to be
It's okay. They casted the new trio for the new Harry Potter TV show. Gonna be honest, don't care. Don't know who these kids are. I bet they'll do fine. Avengers Doomsday. So Avengers Doomsday and Doom Messiah are now releasing on the same day, December 18th, 2026. I just don't care. I don't know. Does Marvel think that they have the track record to do that right now? You know, I understand that this is supposed to be like a big deal, and they know it's a big deal, and everyone's excited for it. But at least Doom Messiah has 2 movies before it that are good. Marvel, get me 2 movies in a row that are good, and then you can get excited for Doomsday.
Yeah, honestly.
Especially give me 1 movie that's amazing, okay? And then you can do that. Speaking of something that might be amazing, probably not, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So officially announced, this is a screenshot from the Bandai Namco Instagram page. We were getting a Elden Ring movie directed and written by Alex Garland, the guy who did Civil War and a bunch of other movies. And it's going to be produced by Bandai Namco and A24. That will be interesting. I feel like this is a way higher budget of a flick than what A24 is used to. So I'm very curious to see where they're going to go with this and what the hell it's going to be. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's going to be bad outright like some people have been saying, and I'm not going to say it's going to be the greatest thing ever like some other people are saying. I'm just going to say I'm cautiously optimistic for the most part. That's what I'll say.
I found my news.
What's your news?
So as of this recording, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie released in Japan, and it is set to release in a month and a half globally. And it's just a recap of hidden inventory, and the author released more details about Gojo and his past. I don't know if it's following the movie or because of the movie, or he just kind of did it, but there's a little bit more info about Gojo as a teenager. The Dotadon movie is also now released, I think, globally.
Yeah, G said something about that. I said I'm not seeing that.
And then Demon Slayer is set to release in a month and a half for theirs, which I think is going to be pretty good. And then globally, mid-August. Which
I'm excited for that Demon Slayer movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. And I think that might have been it. I mean, I think I'm blanking. There's actually a big piece of news that I'm just forgetting, and it's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna remember it right after.
Yeah, you could write it down and just bring it to next week. I don't think anyone cares for the most part. I mean, I don't know. Someone always says something like, "Oh, I like the movie news." Yeah, fuck you, whatever. Whoever said that, I don't know. Whatever. Thank you for commenting. But
Yeah.
but
Comedy.
yeah, I appreciate it. All right, whatever. Next segment, Skylar.
Zach.
What have you been watching? I stole your line. I stole your line. I stole it.
No,
I stole it.
no.
I'm
You're supposed to
doing
say
it.
yes.
I'm switching the script. I'm switching the script. It's flipped. It's flipped. It's on you now. Go.
Um, I'm thrown so off. I'll start it off with I think the bigger one. I saw Sinners in theater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw it right before it left theaters.
Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Honestly, wait, you haven't
I have
seen
not
it or
seen
no?
it.
Okay, I'll give it a thumb up.
He gives it a thumb up. I've
Yeah,
heard
but,
that
like,
it's very good.
I would say,
and not as much as everyone says it is, though.
yeah, I was gonna say, I felt like everybody was saying like this. I think it's like this.
Yeah.
Like a
My buddy Trev was like, it's very good. The second half is not nearly as good as the first half, and I said that's a pretty on. That's awesome. That I trust Trev in his opinions with movies.
That's a pretty good opinion. I think, because you said, I'm pretty sure you previously mentioned on here that Sinners was supposed to be a Blade movie.
Yeah.
I think the first half does really well at like kind of taking it away from Blade. The second half, you're like, this is a Blade movie.
That's actually really funny because I've heard like 7 people say that exact same thing.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how I would describe it and exactly how I think of it. I think they kind of got to certain points and like I don't know what to do, so they make like a character do something kind of dumb and something that doesn't exactly make sense with what's going on. And like something like it still flows and it's still a good movie, but like the beginning half I would say lives up to everybody's hype, and the second half is kind of where it starts falling off. Like if the beginning, I'm not saying it is, but if the beginning's a 10, it falls to like an 8.5. The second half starts hitting after one specific point. I think it starts falling.
Interesting. I should have seen it in theaters.
I feel like you'll agree. There's one moment that it just feels so stupid because the character's goal doesn't even get solved in their action, so it feels kind of dumb.
Okay.
So that's one complaint that I do have, and I think that criticism is fair. Like it's not a perfect movie, but I do think it is pretty good. And I think if it was a Marvel one, it's probably one of their better ones they've released.
Dude, if
at least new Marvel is probably
right now, bro. Kevin Feige is kicking himself in the ass, dude.
He should.
Oh,
he had,
no,
that's
dude,
Skylar
from Mediak, dude. He said that if this was a Marvel movie, it would be good. Fuck, dude. Why do we turn this down?
Not even good. They're probably like either this or it's probably.
Man, fuck! Why couldn't that have been Blade, dude? That would imagine Mahershala Ali in that, dude, as Blade. That would have been so cool.
Actually, I don't know. Michael B. Jordan's such a good actor.
I know he's awesome. He's
like,
I know
he steals the show. It like that's like one of his better acting performances that I've seen in a while. He's really pretty good. Some of the others are a little sketchy, but he carries the movie.
I'll watch it eventually. I'm probably gonna buy the DVD.
I would wait for it to stream.
I'm probably gonna buy the 4K. DVD of it so I can get the crispest view of it.
Oh, so understandable. It's probably worth the 4K.
Is that your generational? So Skylar hyped up. He was like, "Guys, this is what we're watching. This is a generation."
Okay, that was a big part of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
that was a big part.
That's a big one. That's a big deal. Watching that movie is a big deal.
I've read a couple chapters of One Piece. I'm now past where you were at.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm on.
Well, in my defense, I want to. Everything I experience from One Piece now, I want to record it and turn it into a video. And I just have been. Honestly, I've been playing. I'm going to be straight up. The last 3 months since the X-Men video came out, I've been procrastinating. I've been playing Black Ops 6. I've been doing other stuff. I'm working on other videos. I'm kind of locked in now, but I didn't want to say that because the second I usually say that, it goes negative. But I'm forced to be done. I'm forcing myself to be done with this video by the Monday after this podcast comes out, locking it in. This upcoming Monday, this upcoming Monday, there's going to be a video about the Outer Wilds. It is gonna be for real. I don't think it's as good as the last one. However, I still am very proud of it, and I think that those who have played the game and are gonna watch the video are gonna like it. And I kind of just want to have a conversation related to like what people think about it. And I'm mainly just saying that because the animation in the last video, the X-Men video, is just so fucking, it's so good, and I just don't have anything in this video that lives up to that. But I think the editing's pretty solid. I honestly think I'm trying harder in the editing in this one than the last one. But that animation is so peak. That's all on Cassie for doing such a great job on that. But yeah, locking it in this upcoming Monday. Be prepared. It's gonna be sweet. Get your play Outer Wild so we can talk about it. I know probably not a lot of people have done that.
Then my next thing I've watched is I watched a couple episodes of Game of Thrones. Me and Lily are now past the long night.
What'd you think about that?
The actual.
I wish they'd turn some lights on.
Yeah, it was the beginning half. It was so dark, and it's 100% just to hide CG.
Also, the dumbest thing in the entire show is in that episode. Did you think of it?
Was it with the fire? Because Jon Snow had a dragon.
They're fighting against. Well, yes, that is stupid. Yeah, 100%. What you're saying is really dumb. But they fight against a guy who can raise the dead. And the genius, the guy who's known for being smart and coming up with plans, his quote is, "I think and I know shit." And I mean, he goes, no, it's I think and I know shit. I think and I drink, or I drink and I know shit, or something like that. And he's like, let's put everyone who's undefensible in the crypt with the dead people while we fight against a guy who can raise the dead.
Yeah, that one was really dumb. I think another one is, why are you sending... So they want Bran.
Yeah.
The only thing they want.
Yep.
Why does he have the fewest soldiers?
Yeah.
Why don't you give... why isn't, one of the dragons there? With him?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to touch him.
Use the
Theon,
dragons,
I think, had
idiot.
some good... I think Theon redeemed himself pretty well at the end. Bran is just such a bad character.
I hate that
so
episode.
Bad.
I hate that episode so much.
He's been... Lily calls him Smooth Bran because he just goes smooth brain. He's just for everything. Yeah. So we watched that, and then now we're watching Cersei is about to fight Daenerys. And honestly, I think Daenerys is I think it's the point of the show, but she's mad that Jon is better.
She's a little angry.
Yeah.
The long night was the point when I checked out in the show, because that was my most excited moment. The show. Yeah,
that should have been so cool.
The show starts with White Walkers. That should be what the show's about. It's about the White Walkers. It should have ended with the long night. That would have been so much better. I agree. It really upsets me, and it also was done in such a shitty, stupid ass way. No questions were answered. I was the only thing that's kept keeping me going in the last couple seasons were just I'm interested in the White Walkers. I'm really interested in the White Walkers because they're mythical, and the world isn't very mythical outside of the dragons. And
honestly, they look pretty difficult to defeat.
Yeah. Apparently not.
Just straight up.
No, they were cool. Someone just snaps their fingers, and then everyone in the row has now fire on their swords, and they got it, bro. It's fucking it's easy.
No, I don't like how certain people can just summon fire. I think that is so dumb.
I think a lot of the shit.
I forget the one guy's name, but he has the eye patch and he walks with the mountain or the hound at the end. Yeah. I don't like how he can use fire.
Well, I thought it was cool how it was just a normal world that had smidges of magical elements in it. I
Yeah,
thought that was
they got too
interesting.
much magic.
Now it's just like fireball, you know, and I'm just like this isn't what
Yeah,
this isn't what I signed up for.
I think they should have kept like the White Walkers. I kind of like the dragons being into it. It kind of
Yeah.
adds to like the just like the not like to the like the slight fantasy vibe.
Yeah,
Right?
well, I mean, it makes sense that
Um,
you'd have dragons because it would be like there's some sort of mythical thing on the other side, and now there's some sort of mythical thing on our side to fight against it. Now, like everyone's mythical, and it just is stupid.
yeah, like I think that the witches being able to use magic is understandable. Like that's kind of what they are,
Slight magic
right?
is what I would like.
Yeah, this pretty much just like fire and fortune telling. That's not even 100% accurate.
Yeah,
Um, so like, and that feels like something that would fit into like this world pretty well. But being able just to like summon fire and make it like surround the entire thing, it should have been the dragons that did
Yeah.
that. First off,
yeah,
and like it made sense for like the big enemy being the White Walkers. These like huge threat just to be able to like kind of have like their own magic.
yeah.
But I feel like the real people should not have gotten it. It would have made the fight more like not
Scary, like
automatic,
threatening,
like
I guess.
horrifying.
Yeah,
Because like they're at like a severe disadvantage.
yeah.
Like severe. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like
But
there's no tension though because you know there's the rest of the show, so you know these characters aren't going to die, so it just doesn't feel anything at all.
I also have not been, and he was like one of my characters I enjoyed a lot before, and it was Tyrion. I feel like he's fallen off such a cliff. I feel like he hasn't like he's been like the clever guy, and he hasn't gotten a thing right
And
in
he
like
did that
4
really
seasons.
dumb thing I said earlier.
Yeah, he did that one dumb thing. Him and Cersei had this same idea about
Sorry
like
about Discord.
want to declare peace. Like they both guessed
Shut the
that.
fuck
Like
up, yeah, bro. Like
yeah, and like he didn't save Miss Andy. He didn't save anybody in the crypt, and he was down in the crypt.
yeah, dude, he put them at danger for being down there.
Arya's like knife stab. That was sick.
I hate her.
I do too, but that knife stab was cool.
I hate her.
Um,
No one is safe except for Arya
And Jon Snow.
and Jon Snow, obviously.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because fucking
People like
George
Jon Snow.
R. R. Martin's wife is a big fan of Arya, so they were like, don't kill her in the show. So, like, regardless of how many times she gets stabbed or fucking beat up or whatever, she just can't die because she's immortal for some reason. She's now, like, immortal Batman. That's what she is.
Yeah.
Batman, immortal Batman who stabs people.
Use magic.
And magic, yeah.
Yeah. It's dumb.
She's
But-
immortal Constantine. Batman
um,
who stabs people and uses magic. That's what he is.
my next thing is I watched like 2 episodes of Trigun. I'm gonna ignore that content.
He hates that movie. I love that
watched
movie. Peak entertainment.
2 episodes of Trigun since, and the last one I watched was Peace and Love, I believe. And that was actually a really good one. It
of
was
it is.
probably my favorite so far. In that one, there was like a really wealthy person, and his daughter got abducted by bandits, and they wanted a ransom. And they got in the
Dude, oh my god.
guy went to the sheriff, and he's like, "You need to get my daughter." And he's like, "Oh, you should like probably pay the ransom." He's like, "I'm not paying the ransom. Like, I pay you to like get her. Like, go get her. Like, do something." And like that. So I thought it was a good episode, and then it kind of like ended by saying like the title of it. But I think it was a really well done episode. I think Vash was pretty funny throughout like majority of this episode, like more funny than the other one. So this one stands out more to
I
me
like Vash.
than the other one. I do too. I don't really like anybody else, but like
Have you met Wolfward or something yet? With the big cross?
maybe I don't.
You'll know. You'll know what
Are
the
there
big
so
cross
many
is.
new characters every episode so far?
Huh?
There's so many new characters every single episode so far. Like
You'll know the big cross. It's a big deal.
okay. I hope I haven't seen it yet then.
No, you'll know.
Okay, because I saw the one guy who upgraded his gun, which was pretty cool.
Was the cross the gun?
What?
You'll know when you see it. You'll know when you
Okay.
see it.
But his gun did get upgraded, which was pretty cool. And that episode was pretty good too, actually. But I mean,
Badass.
I still think this last one was pretty good. This last one was probably my favorite. I watched a good bit of the NBA playoffs for the last little bit, a couple of the Dodger games, which was pretty fun. I played a good bit of Marvel Rivals, a good bit of Minecraft, a good bit of Dokkan, and I think I don't know. I really want to rewatch Your Lie in April.
I haven't ever
But
seen
I
it
don't.
yet. I got to get around to it eventually.
That one's pretty good. But I have one more question before I wrap up.
I have no idea what this could be.
Zach,
Yes.
what have you been watching?
Holy shit, dude. I never was expecting you to ask. I've been waiting. I think I have a couple things. So I've Dandadan on there, but I know I finished that last time because I talked to Chandler about not wanting to see the very uncomfortable scene in theaters. Yeah, so that shouldn't be on there. We started another show and finished it called Skate the Infinity. Very good. To the point in which we went and bought skateboards and started
Really?
yeah, and I'm starting to teach G how to skateboard, which is awesome. It's really fun. I missed it a lot. It's a good time. And then we finished that because it's only 14 episodes. Really good, by the way. Recommend it. And then after that, we started Windbreakers, which is a show about a town that is run by gangs and high schools and not police and stuff. And it's good. The animation is super smooth and the fights are really clean. And it talks about stuff that like I definitely haven't seen commonly talked about in anime because like all of the kids, even though like all the kids at the main school are good kids, they're still like delinquents to an extent. So it just like addresses topics in a way that's different than other normal anime. Not normal. This is a very normal anime. It's very shonen, even though they are just like normal kids and they're fighting. But whoa, dude, your screen just did something really weird. But it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm having a fun time with it so far. G's really loving it. I wish I felt the same way about it that she does. She really likes it, which is awesome. I just think it's pretty good. Animation is really good. Whoever works on it is really nice. Whoever did the animation in the first opening deserves a raise. But I didn't like
I've
the
heard
intro
the season
song.
2 of that show is really good.
Huh?
I've heard some pretty good things about that season 2 of Windbreakers.
I actually think season 1 is like significantly better so far.
Really?
Personally, I don't know.
I had a couple like 9 pluses for episode ratings.
I haven't watched the 2 most recent episodes, but I just like.
I feel like it wasn't the most recent ones.
Okay, then I don't know. I don't see that personally. I don't know. Maybe it's just not my thing. But it's good. I'm not saying it's like there's nothing. I've not watched an episode and thought this is more negative than positive. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I like every episode. It's a good show, but there also hasn't been one that made me be like, holy shit, this is one of the best episodes of anime I've ever watched. So I don't know. I haven't seen a 9 or a 10 yet. So interesting, but it is pretty good. What?
I remembered by news.
Oh, what was it?
In like I think it was a month and a half. Kaiju number 8, season 2 is set to come out.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. I'll wait till that's out fully and then I'll watch that.
Sorry, Zach.
No, you're good, bro. We're watching Fire Force weekly. That's really good this season so far. I don't know how many episodes are out so far, but it kind of seems hard like that they're going to finish the show within the season, like what Chandler was saying. But I'm pretty confident that season 3 is the last season. Excuse me. Last week, since we didn't have a movie, we had a gap week. I watched 2 movies in my weekend. I watched 28 Days Later. I don't know why I wrote 48 Days up there. That's not the name of the movie. It's 28 Days Later. And what?
You were close.
I was close, yeah. But yeah, that movie's pretty darn good. My uncle describes it as the greatest first half of a zombies movie ever, and I kind of agree with him on it. It's a really good opening of the movie. There's some parts that I thought were like not the best, like how What?
Where it starts out kind of high, falls.
I don't think it falls like massively off. It just is like it's a very different type of movie halfway through it. And there are certain points that are like not the like after 28 days you're like really people I don't believe that people would act this way. Cuz like at the beginning of the movie it's like kind of like a zombie survival, while in the next one it's like an apocalypse survival where we're seeing like them interact with humans, and just like the humans are the worst, and it's kind of hard to believe that after only like a month people would go that like ballistic, you know. And yeah, that's definitely a fair point to look at it. Like if you're trying to judge the movie, obviously we're not reviewing that this week though, so I can feel whatever I want about it.
Do you think if they changed it from like 28 to like 78, it makes sense?
The following movie, 28 weeks later.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched 28 Weeks yet. We're gonna watch that soon.
Cause I thought you were making a joke.
No, there's a trilogy. It's actually called 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and then there's a new one coming out in theaters in like a week or two called 28 Years Later. I'm being serious.
My fault. I thought you were making a joke.
No, I'm being for real, bro. It's really funny, actually. It's really funny that you said that and you didn't know. But yeah, the first half of 28 Days is definitely a lot better than the second half of the movie, and there's definitely some stuff in which they go a little too far. And also, Cillian Murphy goes from just being like a newspaper delivery guy to being like an assassin in the second half of the movie. So it just is really unbelievable in that aspect. And the part that I don't like about the beginning half, the one part I don't like about the beginning half, is that whenever he wakes up from his coma, the town is empty. And like by empty, I mean like there's no sign of anyone at all. And I just don't find that believable for what would be an apocalypse situation. Like I know there's papers occasionally, but you would think there would be like blood and gore and dead bodies or like some sort of noticeable damage to some buildings or something like that, but it was just like completely empty. And I know that there's like some sort of eerie feeling from that, and yeah, I agree with it. It just didn't click with me because I didn't feel like it was realistic to what like an apocalypse situation would look like. But other than that, it was pretty good. What?
I thought there'd be a lot of like sign of at least previous life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it might have made it eerier, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like imagine him like yeah, it feels weird, but like imagine all that, but with nothing, like destroyed buildings,
random legs, like
yeah, you just walk.
I mean,
around
if it is a
hand,
it's gonna be like decomposed bodies, at least somewhere, like a stench, a noticeable stench.
And they're not necessarily zombies because it's like a rage virus. It's not like dead bodies coming to life or something like that, but there still would be blood and gore and shit. Like people are still attacking each other.
Yeah.
So yeah. In the other movie I watched that weekend is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and I think that movie is pretty solid. I like it a lot. The Rotten Tomatoes score is like 40%. I think that's ridiculous. I don't know. I feel like it's impossible to watch that movie and come out of it thinking it's a bad movie. But I don't think it's like a life-changing one. But maybe I'm not at the age in which I should be watching it yet. You know, because it's not made for me. But it's very good, and it's definitely like a good one for just learning how to, I don't know, live. Just go do it, you know. And I like that scene at the very end with the camera and the lion, or not the lion, the leopard. It's really good. Anything else on my list? Oh yes. So I've clocked like probably 20 hours in the Sea of Stars because I think that game is almost over, and every time I keep thinking it's almost over, it's not almost over. I think it's crazy. I've been playing it for so long, but I think I'm actually getting closer to the end. Finally, I think I'm gonna fight the Dweller of Strife, and then actually I'm fighting the Dweller of Dread now to open up the sun and the moon and the other dimension, and then I'm gonna travel back over from the Sea of Stars so then I can fight the Dweller of Strife. This guy gets it. He knows what's up.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, dude. This guy is all over the place fighting dwellers. It's sick.
Yeah, I guess you can say it's part of my Outer Wilds.
Wrong game. That's okay. I forgive you. I'm out of things I've done though. Other than that, I've just been editing the video, and that's like basically done. So that's I lied. I'm at minute 4 out of 15. I lied to you, but by that I mean I have all the footage gathered, so it's gonna be just plug and play from now on. That was pretty close.
That's basically half.
Yeah, it's basically half. No, it'll be easy from there. It'll be easy from here. Trust me. But yeah,
Right.
me and Skylar have volleyball tomorrow. And then other than that, what? Yeah, we double header.
Doubleheader.
It's gonna be fun. One of the games is really late. Yay! I worked the following day.
Yeah. Yeah, says Lily.
Oh,
She gives that.
Shit. Yeah, it'll be okay. We'll live. Yeah. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully with Chandler. Hopefully with Chandler.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week with Civil War. We'll see how that works in the Captain America trilogy. See if it actually works as a Captain America movie. But yeah, we'll see you guys then. See you.